Hello and welcome back to another video. This is definitely weird because I haven't done one of these kinds of videos for a very long time. So bear with me through the awkwardness, through just everything that you're about to see today. Because I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really go into this video with like a set script or anything. I'm just kind of going into it because why not? You know, this is a special occasion. I felt like I should be tackling this video differently. So yeah, today, if you guys didn't already pick up on it, we are celebrating yet another milestone here on the channel, the 40,000 subscriber milestone, which I have to say I'm extremely excited about. That's really cool because at the beginning of the year, if you don't remember, I did my 20k special. I think this was right before the end of 2021, I think, and I said something like, oh, I want to try to get 50,000 subscribers by the end of 2022, and look at us now, 20,000 subscribers later, we're at 40k, and you know, that's amazing to me. I really cannot believe we made it this far this quickly. I'm really happy about that. So thank you guys so much for that. So for this milestone, I just kind of wanted to do something that I hadn't done in a very long time, and that was a Q&A. I asked you guys to ask me a bunch of questions that you wanted to know on a community tab that I had posted a few weeks ago at this point, I think. And now I'm gonna go through every question that you guys have asked me here on my phone. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of start from the top comment and head all the way down until we pretty much finish, which will be a while because there were like 70 something questions. So yeah, we're gonna be here for a bit. All right, I don't want to spend too much time rambling for the intro here, but just before we get started, I just have to thank you guys again for all of the love and support you've shown the channel these last like 5 or 6 years that I've been doing YouTube, and especially just the amount of love and support from the last couple of years, ever since I decided to shift my content into what it is now. This kind of content, this more recent version of the channel, is definitely the content that has caught a lot of attention and has brought in the most people, and I'm just really happy that you guys are enjoying what I'm making now, and I'm hoping to improve on more of this content in the future. I've got a lot of stuff planned out that I think you guys are really gonna like. Again, I don't want to spend too much time on the intro. I will leave it at that. So let's go ahead and get started with these questions. The first question is actually from my friend Super King Adora. he's the top comment, and he asks, how long did it take you to refine the art of puns? Okay, so a little bit of context for those of you that might not know, because I actually don't, as funny as I think puns are, I actually don't incorporate them into the channel all that often. I get like kicks out of just making people cringe and question life, so I will hit them with puns every now and again. And I don't know, I mean, every time I'm with my friends or like on an online call with my friends and I talk to them, I just hit them with puns every now and again, you know? I actually do it sometimes on the Discord server too. So if you guys are a part of the Discord, you'll probably catch some of my puns, and you guys will probably hate me just a little bit more for it. But I don't know, it's something that I do find funny, and Ghidorah here is asking like, how long did it take me to refine the art of puns? I don't consider I don't unironically consider myself to be like a pun master or anything. I mean, God, how sad would my life be if I did? But I have been more consistently resorting to the comedy of puns these last few years. I guess that answers your question. That's how long I've been, you know, because I haven't always done this. I haven't always been cringe. Any person I've gotten online with, or just any of my friends I've talked to, you can ask any of them. They low-key hate me for it. Question number 2 is actually 2 questions from Mr. Beard. Do you have any guilty pleasures or something that you genuinely enjoy but you find many other people don't? And his second question is, have you ever seen the short-lived TV show Terra Nova, and if so, what are your thoughts on it, and would you be interested in making a video about it? I do have a couple of examples of guilty pleasures that I have in terms of paleomedia. The first one being Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Now, I don't think that Fallen Kingdom is like a good film in terms of like, you know, actual logic or complexity, because it's not. However, I do think it's an entertaining film. I think it's a fun one. I think it succeeds in that regard. I know a lot of people don't really like that argument for Fallen Kingdom, but again, this is a guilty pleasure we're talking about, and I find that Fallen Kingdom is a fun film to watch when you're, bored and it's a rainy day outside or something, and you could just, you just want to watch something to kind of take your mind off of the more serious things. That would be the kind of film that I would resort to. Another thing that I absolutely love that, honestly, I think a lot of people actually like this, but dinosaur B-movies are really fun things to just kind of poke fun at, to watch. My personal favorite one has to be Age of Dinosaurs. This is a film that I actually really like, not because it's something that I actually take seriously, but pretty much the complete opposite. It is so unintentionally funny that it's just a fun movie to watch when, you're bored and just want to pass the time with something funny, It's one of those kind of movies, and I really do like it in that aspect, So those are my guilty pleasures. I don't know how other people feel about that, but those are what I like. To answer your second question, yes, I have heard of Terra Nova. I've only seen a few episodes, and yes, I am interested in making a video about it, hopefully one day. I don't have any plans to make it anytime soon, because I'm gonna be honest, I am behind on content a little bit. But it's definitely something that I do want to maybe do a video on one day, just to kind of document this really weird but interesting show that could have been, because it is, like you said, it was a short-lived TV show. I think it only had one season. I don't know how many episodes were in that season. I want to say 13 maybe, but I could be wrong. But yeah, that's my answer to that. Let's go ahead and move on to I Am Koala Bear 666. Lovely name, by the way. They want me to answer 3 of the 6 questions they listed, so I'll go ahead and read off the 6 questions. What is your favorite smell? What's your go-to dance move? What dumb accomplishment are you most proud of? Have you ever saved someone's life? Tragedy, something has happened, how will you get up? And what is your destiny? What is the next chapter in the story of your lifelong tale? I'm gonna be honest, these all sound like satirical questions. I'm not actually sure if I'm supposed to answer these seriously, but I'll answer them seriously, whatever, it'll be funny. So I'll answer the first question. I actually do have a favorite smell, as weird as that fucking sounds. But I like the smell of the air after a good rain. It smells very fresh. It smells very clean. I don't know, it just has this very natural fragrance to it that smells just like, it just smells nice. I don't even really know how to describe it. What dumb accomplishment are you most proud of? This one I want to answer because this one's kind of funny. The dumb accomplishment I am most proud of has to be popularizing the Yee dinosaur meme within my own personal YouTube community. The reason, obviously you could tell why it's a dumb accomplishment, because overall it's kind of fucking pointless, but at the same time it's not. And the reason why I'm proud of it is because in some weird way, it's kind of brought the community together just a little bit, because it's kind of like me and my community's own personal inside joke, like anybody that has watched my videos and are a part of my Discord server, we have like this ongoing meme where it's like they want to torment me with a bunch of Yee dinosaur memes and whatnot because I keep saying that film gives me brain damage, which it low-key does. But obviously this is all just funny jokes. I think they're jokes. Guys, please tell me these are jokes. Please tell me you don't want to destroy my brain. Anyways, I'm proud of it because in a sense it's like our own inside joke. It brings the community together just a little bit, and I kind of like that about it. It's dumb because it's a fucking Yee dinosaur meme. Out of all the things that could have been an inside joke, it had to be this thing right here, but okay, whatever. And I'll answer number 6. What is your destiny? What's the next chapter in the story of your lifelong tale? So again, I'm not entirely sure if I'm supposed to be answering these seriously, but I will go ahead and do that anyways. So one of the things that I really want to do is improve just my content creation skills as a whole. And I'm actually gonna be going to college for that. Actually, I've been going to college, but I was going to college for a different reason, but I've since recently changed my major into media production stuff, like media arts, because I would like to continue producing and creating stuff, but I'd like to do it on a more professional level, and not just to put into the channel, but hopefully this could lead me down like an actual career path into making stuff on a much bigger scale. something that could be a part of a much bigger project. That would be so cool to be a part of. I don't know, I guess just being on YouTube for this long, doing everything by myself for this long, I guess it's developed this passion to keep doing that. But obviously, YouTube, as cool as it is, it's not something I want to depend on as like a career path. I would like to do something much bigger than YouTube, something beyond YouTube. It would be really cool to do that. You know, I can maybe see YouTube as like a portfolio for all of my projects that I've worked on that could be the precursor of a much bigger thing that I could be a part of. So I'm hoping that this could be the next chapter of my life. That could be my destiny. But cringe stuff aside, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next question. All right, next questions are from Abe Hoser, who asks 5 different questions. When are you going to do unboxing videos / vlog / gaming? Have you ever considered doing non-paleo content? When are you going to do merch? Besides being a YouTuber, what other stuff do you do? And what kind of music do you listen to? To answer your first question, I kind of did all of that at one point on my channel. I guess a lot of people don't really know about my channel before then, but before 2021, I think, I was kind of doing a bunch of different things on the channel. I was essentially like a variety channel, but like, you know, with dinosaurs. And I did just a bunch of different things. I did unboxing videos, I did a lot of gameplay stuff, and I did do vlogs every now and again. And you know, that stuff was fun to do at first, but you know, after a while, I just kind of got bored with that stuff and wanted to do something a bit more challenging. So that's why I decided to do something that I was much more interested in and decided to do videos that I'm doing now. So I don't plan on going back to that stuff, at least not on this channel. If I do go back to it, you'll most likely find it on my second channel, even though I don't post there very often. Have I ever considered doing non-paleo content? Yeah, actually I have. And that has been a bit of a mixed bag as to how I wanted to approach it. Initially, I was thinking about maybe doing like sci-fi / horror related videos that weren't necessarily revolved around dinosaurs here on the channel. And I'm not sure if you guys remember, but I actually did do a couple of videos that were exactly like that. It was the Creatures of the Lumberwoods videos. I did 2 of them. Both of them did extremely well in terms of viewership, I'd say, and also in terms of reception. You guys really liked those videos. And that was like my first attempt in a very long while to incorporate something that wasn't entirely dinosaur related onto the channel. In fact, I don't think any of that was dinosaur related. And it did well, so it makes me think that if I wanted to branch out a little bit, I could. However, I don't plan on doing it anytime soon. You know, I have considered it, to answer your question, and maybe one day I will attempt it again, but as of right now, I don't think I'm going to do it anytime soon. And as far as merch goes, that's also something that I wanted to do for a while, but the reason why I haven't is because my schedule is pretty full these days. You know, I don't want to just slap something together and be like, okay, good enough, and just sell it and that's it. You know, I would like to, if I'm going to make merch, I would like it to be, you know, something quality, and for that, I feel like I need to sit down and really think about what I'd want to do, and that requires time that I just don't have right now. So who knows, maybe one day I'll do merch, but as of right now, I think it's just not gonna happen. Maybe talk to me next summer. We'll see how next summer pans out. Maybe I won't be as busy. So to answer your 4th question, aside from being a YouTuber, I am also a college student. I'm currently going to community college. As I mentioned earlier, I am now going into, you know, media production, and I'm hoping to continue my academics into, you know, that direction. As of right now, it's a little weird just because obviously COVID, just like everybody else, it threw me through a loop. School right now is a bit, it's a bit complicated. I'm still going, it's just I hadn't been going as much as I really should have been. But it's really hard trying to do online classes, especially trying to do it full time. And at the same time, trying to prioritize a job on top of doing school, because I also have a job outside of all of this. But I mean, aside from that, I don't really do a whole lot because I'm gonna be honest, I'm always, you know, YouTube is my hobby at this point. It is something that I do when I'm not working or going to school. You know, I do other things like play video games with friends and, you know, go out every now and again. But if you're asking about like hobbies, you know, obviously doing the things that I'm doing right now, it doesn't allow me a whole lot of time to have more than, you know, 1 or 2 hobbies. And, you know, if those slots are filled out doing YouTube and just doing random things like playing video games and whatnot. So Aside from that, I don't really have a whole lot going on. All right, for your fifth and final question, what kind of music do I listen to? It kind of ranges. I'm kind of mainly into more experimental stuff and like alternative rock. My favorite band is Gorillaz. I absolutely love their music. I've been listening to them since like middle school, and I think the stuff that they're making even now is pretty good. My favorite album from them has to be Plastic Beach though. That was definitely a fucking great album. Hello, it's a different day. That whole first 15 minutes of the video took me like 3 hours in total to record, which means only 15 minutes of those 3 hours were salvageable. Then I had to take a break and I couldn't get back to recording, so now we're on a different day, like a week later, so let's get back to it. Next question is from Waddles, who asks, favorite video game with dinos, if any? I don't really have a favorite dinosaur game just because I don't really play dinosaur games all that often anymore, at least not as much as I used to. However, the one game I can see myself coming back to time and time again and not be bored with it is probably the Carnivore's Dinosaur Hunter series, and more specifically like the mobile version, because that's like that was my first experience with like a dinosaur game. Was the mobile version of Carnivore's Dinosaur Hunter. That's the one I'm most familiar with. I have played the computer versions just a little bit, very briefly, not a whole lot. Of the Carnivore series, there's a lot that I haven't played. I haven't played Cityscape, I haven't played Ice Age on the, like, you know, like the actual versions of the game, like the true, like the original versions. I've only ever played the mobile games, and as of recently, the one that I played was the newest installment of the series, which is Carnivore's Dinosaur Hunt, which I think was just like an updated and remastered version of Reborn. But I really do like those games because they're very simple, very straightforward. It's not too complicated. Typically, I like survival games too, ones where you kind of start from nothing and kind of build your way to the top. I kind of liked Ark for that reason for the longest time, but then it just kind of felt too tedious. So I kind of stopped playing that kind of game. However, I'll just say that Carnivores is my favorite dinosaur game. I'll leave it at that. Next question is from Nemesis Bloodreich, I think is how you pronounce that, or Rich, or I don't fucking know. I'm bad with names, okay? Leave me alone. If you could go back in time to see a Spinosaurus in real life, would you report on what it actually looks like to end the debate, or would you use your knowledge to make it even more chaotic? I gotta say, these questions are actually pretty creative because I did not expect to be asked something like this. Honestly, knowing me, I probably would not take it very seriously at first. I would probably use the knowledge to make it even more chaotic, but I think I'd make it too obvious and people would just outright call on my bullshit, and then just at that point, I'd probably just spill on what it actually was. But to answer your question, I would do the second thing first and then eventually give up the true information. But you know, that's just a troll in me. Next question from Stewart035. What is the best question you have been asked so far? And what dino would you eat if given the chance? So the best question I've been asked have been none of them. You guys have asked me horrible questions. I fucking hate them all. You guys suck. Actually, so far, I'm not gonna lie, I really like the previous question about the Spinosaurus just because it sounds like some bullshit I would pull. I don't have a favorite quite yet. I think it's too early to tell, so I'll leave it at that. What dino would I eat if I was given the chance? Honestly, I would just say surprise me. Like, I don't even really care all that much. I'd be like, all right, let's put all the dinosaur names in a randomizer and just go from there, and whatever gets picked is what I will try. Just because there's too many options, okay? I can't choose under this kind of pressure. Next question from Asylum of Pains. What's your favorite / preferred way to get dinosaurs into a modern movie setting? Jurassic Park's theme park monsters, Conan Doyle's Lost World's Hidden World, Dino Crisis Time Portal, or something different? Honestly, I really like the idea of a lost hidden world. I really like that aspect of it because it pretty much gives us the best of both worlds. You can have very science fictional elements to it, but at the same time, because it's a lost hidden world, it implies that this lost hidden world has been a part of the Earth for as long as everything else has. which means all of it is natural, so you can find some sort of way to make those creatures natural and somewhat accurate, I suppose, given the context of what that hidden world is like or what it contains. I just like the idea that you can bring dinosaurs to life in ways that both cater to a very natural and almost accurate feel, because there's a lot you could still do with that, but at the same time, it still leaves enough legroom for you to speculate and have some science fiction elements in there too. Not to mention the fact that a lot of these worlds are just so diverse, a lot of these hidden worlds, that there's just so much exploration to it. Another part of the Lost World aspect that I like is just how ambiguous it can be, and there's just a ton to explore. Don't get me wrong, going back in time or bringing dinosaurs to life through artificial means are also really cool in itself. However, I feel like they don't offer the same kind of experience in terms of exploration, in terms of mystery or ambiguity as something like a Lost Hidden World. Don't get me wrong, again, they have their own level of ambiguity and wonder and mystery, but again, I feel like it's just not to the same level as what you would get for the Lost Hidden World aspect. Next question by Snake Dude for Life. What are your thoughts on Titanoboa? It's an amazing animal. I think it's really cool, very interesting, and it is probably the best thing to ever exist in the world ever. On the real though, I do actually think that the Titanoboa is a very interesting creature. Next question from Duder's Den. If you had unlimited funds to dedicate to a project entirely on your own, what would it be and why? Honestly, I'd probably put it into like, that's a good question. I can't really name any like individual projects, but just in general, I'd probably just put it into the channel to increase the production value of the videos, but also to kind of give a more specific answer, I'd probably dedicate the money, like these unlimited funds, to probably like travel costs, because one of the things that I've kind of wanted to do was kind of like just travel around the world and uncover paleomedia like in person, because there are a lot of places out there that are specifically dedicated to archiving and saving some of these rare and obscure pieces of paleomedia that I've seen around the internet, some of which I've covered, some of which I haven't yet, and a part of me wants to be able to take a look at the history of those areas of media more in depth, but it's hard to do just on the internet because, you know, obviously the internet doesn't provide all of the information, and doing stuff more in depth and in person might give us more answers and backstory to those various pieces of media. So if I had unlimited funds, I'd probably dedicate it to making those trips around the world just to kind of like visit those places specifically for that reason. And if I were to do something like that, I would 100% document all of it just for the sake of posterity at the very least, but also because maybe I can turn it into some sort of documentary style project that I could put on the channel as well. I would probably, you know, if I had an unlimited amount of funds, I would probably put it towards something like that, because that's something that people have actually suggested for me on the channel, is to like, hey, just go over there and maybe check yourself, as if it was so easy to do, which it's not. Next question by Chubby B. What are your favorite dinosaur books, documentary, and novel? My favorite novel is Jurassic Park, you know, in terms of dinosaurs, that is. However, just in terms of like, you know, just to kind of give a different answer, for the sake of books at least, my favorite dinosaur book is, so far, probably has to be the Quintaglio Ascension trilogy. I just really like that series, and I haven't really branched out a whole lot in terms of dinosaur science fiction. I want to, not just for the sake of the channel and to just uncover some of these lesser known dinosaur works, but also for myself, because I genuinely have an interest in this stuff. So I want to be able to look more into it, even if my schedule doesn't let me all the time. But yes, as of right now, the Quintaglio Ascension trilogy, that entire book series, so far I think is just my new favorite dinosaur franchise, in terms of like, you know, dinosaur literature, that is, just books in general. Next question from Chad Gorosaurus. Where did you find that Spino image? So I literally just searched up cursed dinosaur images on the internet, and literally that was like one of the first things that popped up, and I thought, you know what? That's pretty funny. I will use this in my community post just for the shits and giggles. And there you have it. Next question from Vincent Gurgenti, I don't know, I'm sorry, I'm bad with names. What is something about modern paleoart, stuff in the same vein as all yesterday's, that you think is worse than older artists' work? That's a good question. I don't know. There's very little that truly bugs me in regards to like what's in modern paleo art, because it's hard. Paleo art as a whole is just a very versatile thing because it's not just trying to be scientifically accurate. Paleo art is also has a very like speculative branch to it. So I don't know. It's really hard for me to really decide because there's a creative aspect to doing that I don't personally like to disregard, because I like it when people are creative and have outside of the box thinking when it comes to artistic work such as this. And I think keeping that in mind, it's what results in me not really having too much of a problem with people branching out to different areas when it comes to paleo art. So to answer your question, I'm not going to answer your question because I don't really have an answer for it. Maybe I just need to explore paleo art a little bit more to really find something that's like, that truly bugs me about it. But as of right now, there's really not anything too egregious in my book. Again, it could just be because I haven't explored it enough. I'm pretty sure there's some stuff out there that's like fucking needlessly weird. Next question from Bob. Do you think the Triassic period will ever get the same respect as the Jurassic and Cretaceous in media at some point? And what have been some of the ugliest depictions of dinosaurs you've seen in modern time? So, to answer your first question, I really hope so. I think the Triassic period deserves to have some recognition. You know, obviously it always depends on the context of what we're talking about here. If we're talking like science fiction elements, I'm pretty sure there's some ways that you can incorporate like Triassic wildlife into a science fiction dinosaur story. The thing is, it also depends on like the necessity of those dinosaurs. Like when you take something like Jurassic World Dominion that's just throwing in and funneling dinosaurs into their movies, like just new species, it's obvious that they're not doing it because the movie needs those dinosaurs in order to function. They're literally just doing it to please the fans, and of course giving them the excuse to make more varieties of toys and merchandise to obviously sell off to fans. So to answer your question again, I just don't think that's going to be the case at the moment, but hopefully one day people will recognize that there's more to the Triassic than just the select few creatures that they probably know. Hopefully one day they'll realize that there was an array of very strange creatures. I mean, if you want a good example of it, Paleoanalysis has a pretty damn good video series on it. I'm not sure if it's a series, but he does have like a few videos on just Triassic animals and wildlife that I really like, that I'm pretty sure you guys will like too. And to answer your second question, there was this really weird T-Rex recreation in like 2014 that just looked like a cracked out T-Rex. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because in recent times with when the Pyroraptor from Jurassic World Dominion was revealed, so many, I just remember people making like the comparisons of like, oh, this is what crack does to you, stay away from drugs, kids. So to answer your question, I think the look of like the Pyroraptor, I mean, don't get me wrong, I think overall its design is pretty cool, but at the same time, when you take a really good look at its face, it's just a very ugly design. I also think that that T-Rex from 2014 is fucking hideous, but I love it at the same time because it's funny, it's hilarious. But like in terms of just ugliness, those are definitely some of the ugliest ones I've seen. Next question by the Game Dino 105. What topic have you wanted to make a video about but never got around to making? So there's this one video topic that I've been wanting to make for a very long time. And when I say a very long time, I mean like 3 or 4 years. I've been kind of playing around with this idea, but it never really got as far as to, it never really got past the script stage. And even when I started writing out the script for this video, it never got that far into it, maybe like a couple pages in. The video was going to be about the Christians Against Dinosaurs group. And hearing that name, you could probably already assume why I've been hesitant to make this video. However, that's not the only reason. One of the reasons was I just didn't know how I wanted to approach this video. Initially, it was going to be like a meme review-esque video where I was just going to collect like a bunch of memes from their various social media platforms and just kind of read them in a video that wasn't at all supposed to be like mean-spirited. It was supposed to be more like a joke at their expense kind of thing. Obviously that wouldn't have stopped anything because this group doesn't really care if you're trying to be lighthearted or not. But the more I explored their social media platforms and just the group as a whole, the more interested I became with their overall interactions with people, the extent that some of them would go to just to push their belief onto other people. Like, it just, obviously it was extremely toxic, but it was also very interesting to see just from an outside perspective because at the time I wasn't too well versed with the Christians Against Dinosaur group. So after looking more into it, I kind of wanted to upgrade the video from just it being like a simple funny joke video to a more serious deep dive video that kind of delve into the groups a little bit just to see what things were like and also explore other lesser known areas about the group. There was a ton of stuff that I found that I kind of found interesting and thought, you know, this would make a very fascinating video on. And I've been kind of playing around with the idea because on top of the video styles just changing, there's also just the fact that the topic as a whole is a very touchy subject. And of course, the other reason is the fact that this is one of those videos I feel like really needs to be dealt with in a very careful way. And I think at this point I've established that sometimes I have a tendency to not always do that with my videos. Don't get me wrong, I am trying to improve, I'm trying to be better with it, but sometimes when I do get excited about a topic, I can get a little careless with it, and it could cause problems, especially now that my channel is somewhat bigger. Obviously it's not going to carry the same kind of influence as other channels, but it's, you know, it's still something that I don't want people getting the wrong idea of, because I don't want this deep dive video to come off as something that would be like mean-spirited or like a hit piece on the Christians Against Dinosaurs group. Like, that's not the goal of the video, and every time I start a script for that video, I never feel right about it. It's one of those video topics that are just very, very complicated, and I don't know, maybe one day I'll make a video on it, or maybe I'll just scrap it and do something else. I don't know. Next question by Matthew Diet. Are you going to do a video on the speculative dinosaur project? So a while ago, I made a video on the After trilogy, and one of the things that I mentioned was the speculative dinosaur project, which was an unfinished dinosaur project that was supposed to be about just exactly what it says. It was supposed to be a speculative dinosaur project that was just never released. It was going to be a very in-depth book project, I believe, and for the last, I think, I want to say like 2 decades, it's been in the works. And one of the main issues, there was just a lot of issues. One of the main issues that I remember talking about or seeing brought up while doing the research, brief research for that project, was that the people behind the speculative dinosaur project were trying to both incorporate the speculative aspects of dinosaurs with an up-to-date and accurate aspects of dinosaurs. However, they were having a tough time staying caught up to just all of the more accurate finds that were being made in paleontology. And that's just one of the issues that I heard of. You know, I don't remember a whole lot from doing research in that video, but I am interested, and the answer to that question is yes, I do plan on one day making a video about that project. I just don't know when that's gonna be. Hello, sorry that I have to end this video so abruptly, but there was gonna be more to this video, unfortunately due to some technical difficulties and the fact that I was away in Hawaii for like the last week. I had to cut this video a bit short. There will be a part 2 with more questions. I know I just kind of glossed over the whole Hawaii thing, but we'll get to that in a second. Don't worry, there will be a part 2 because there's still a lot of questions I have yet to answer, so I don't want to leave any questions out, but this video was kind of overdue, so I figured maybe it was best to just release it in parts, at least in 2 parts. We'll put out part 1 now, and I'll work on part 2 later. Oh yeah, the Hawaii thing, maybe I should talk about that since I brought it up. So yeah, for like the last week or so at the time that I'm recording this, I was in Hawaii with my family for a family vacation. I won't say too much as to what I did in Hawaii because I did record a lot of it, and I do plan on making it into a video, or having it make it into a video. You guys will see what I mean hopefully soon. I don't know when I'm actually gonna work on said video, but yeah, that'll be coming out soon, hopefully. I don't know, don't quote me. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say for now. Thank you guys so much for your patience. Really, it means the world to me, just because I can't get these videos out fast enough. I mean, I'm not even joking. I'm very much behind on content, but it really means a lot that you guys are waiting on it and being patient. Thank you so much for that. That's all I have to say for now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and please have a nice day.